All right. So for the trade recap, obviously I didn't take the trade today. I wanted to. I was in the chat saying, hey, this is the idea right here. We had a 5 minute fair value gap. Low volume, no fair value gaps to the downside or upside. We ended up breaking high of day with that fair value gap. And you guys know the strategy. When you have a level break with the fair value gap, take the trade. Well, what ended up happening is we saw it retracing. And I know a lot of people get scared whenever they see the candle like come down quick. Uh you want that. You don't want low volume like climbing down to the fair value gap. You want a strong move. I had the 5 minute marked. A lot of you in the chat actually changed my mind to the 3 minute because it was a lot cleaner, looked a lot better. And so that's what we ended up trading. Somewhere in the chat, way in the day. Oh, my bad, guys. Here we go. Earlier in the morning, it was around 10 a.m. So it was low volume. Then we got the move. Obviously, we got volume to kick in. And then as we started retracing this candle here, it was really fast. And then it just didn't give me a chance. The reason I didn't get in the trade was simply because I was trying to open up my Robinhood app and it was making me verify. So it's like I have to scan my face and stuff. And it was weird. By the time I logged in, it was already back up. Like within the minute, I think the 1 minute candle I looked at just to see, it popped right back up. And I was like, damn. But that'll happen. It's unfortunate just because my Robinhood didn't let me log in on time. But the trade itself was, low volume on larger time frames. You guys always have to remember to zoom out. Like I said, we were at previous highs. And when we were at previous highs, I was telling everyone we have gaps below. When we're at previous highs, we can either break through with fair value gaps or, we target these gaps below. So whatever the market decides to do, obviously that's what we're going to end up doing. We gap down, climbed up a little bit. It's been coming down. And then obviously you guys might know what's going to happen next. The market hasn't broken these crazy lows down here. We haven't even fell below the gap. If it fills the gap, cool. But for us to go into a downtrend, we'd have to break these lows and go even lower. Because overall, we're still uptrending in the market. That's what people forget to understand is that, yes, on the day we've been dropping, on the week we've been dropping, but overall, we're still bullish. So you always have to keep that in mind. And then, like I said, intraday, we broke high day. This was low volume. Don't know why anybody would trade that. Wait for the volume to kick in. That's exactly what I did. And I missed my entry simply because I had to relog into Robinhood, which was what was unfortunate. Just targeting high day. We ended up hitting high day pretty quickly. I know a lot of people caught the trade. I unfortunately did not, but I think I should probably announce it to you guys first. I will be starting $1,000 challenge again. My Robinhood only has $1,000, so I'm gonna screenshot this and send it out to everybody while I'm here. I'm sure you guys always know that I be capping. Like I'll say I started $1,000 challenge and end up trading with way more. I moved funds into a Webull account, so I'll be trading privately on my own. Basically, every trade that I take on Robinhood, I'll be taking on my Webull account. So whatever I make on my own, I make trading with 50,000 there. I won't have that for another 4 days. I have to wait. I don't want to wire it, but I have the $1,000 here on Robinhood, so that'll be cool. Let me send this out. I just alerted in the 10K challenge. What contracts would you have recommended to play? I wanted 596 calls. As soon as we dropped below 595, I was looking to get in, and that's when I just couldn't get in because Robinhood was making me re-enter or re-log in, verify. I don't know why it did that. That was so annoying. But I mean, it's just whatever. I learned my lesson about zero DTE, and the longer I waited, the less valuable it was. Yeah, you never want to hold zero DTEs. Ever, 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 ever. Don't ever hold zero DTEs. You're meant to scalp a zero DTEs. You're not supposed to hold those all day. You will always, always lose holding zero DTEs. Always. Even if it goes your way. If you hold for 30 minutes, you're screwed. You hold for 10 minutes, you're screwed. You have to scalp those quick, especially when you have the fair value gap. This is why I like playing zero DTEs on these plays because it's quick. Like we know there's a lot of buying here. We know it's going to bounce off the fair value gap. I can start adding, as soon as we break these lows on the candles, we can start adding anywhere there. Eventually it's going to bounce back up, right? Or I'd say probably anywhere down here, just anywhere near the fair value gap. But trade 1 day, 2 days, you'll be safe. Yeah, 1 day, 2 day contracts, perfect. But this is the idea for today. This is what we wanted to trade. I didn't look at any individuals today. Meta, this was from Friday. This is when I took the user error trade. Obviously, we never got stopped out. It actually played out. I just got in too early. But that's no biggie. SPY was an easy trade. I'm sure you guys know. Y'all banked, or a lot of people did catch it. Let's see if anybody posted gains. Let's see. Did anybody take Palantir calls? Can you go IWN 3 minute? Yeah, damn. Fucking last night, Solana flash crashed and everybody was panicking, telling me, oh, it's gonna dump, it's gonna dump. They just don't know. They just don't know. IWM, I feel like had the same setup as SPY. Yeah, IWM was quite literally the same thing as SPY. 3 minute fair value gap, broke high day. Easy money right there. Broke high day, fair value gap. This one actually retested on the fair value gap. This one looks nice. It didn't fully hit high day, but I'm sure you could have made easy profit there. A 0.3 to 2. That's like what is that? A 1 to 6 risk to reward. It's not bad at all. Thoughts on Google has earnings and Meta had a good earnings report. Maybe it goes the same for Google. Look, the earnings report doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how it goes. The only thing that matters is the implied move, how much it's going to move with news. That's it. It doesn't matter if they beat, doesn't matter if there's been many times where they don't beat earnings and they still gap up like 100 points, It does not matter what the news is. They will move the market wherever they want to. If Google's implied move, let's look up Google's implied move so you guys never have to ask me again. Google implied move on earnings. This is all you have to do. It has a 6% implied move. This is 6.3%, right? So if we go back to TradingView, go to Google, it's gonna move 6%. So we can, oh, and it's breaking previous highs. Holy shit. So if it were to make a move from where it's at, 6%, it would make like a $10 move. So you'd want to buy contracts that are in the money, right? This thing is finally breaking out. Holy shit. Has a 4-hour inside bar. I'm gonna keep an eye on Google. Definitely won't take immediate trades off of this, but I will keep an eye on Google for sure. This is breaking previous highs. No fair value gap quite yet. It did gap up. It's approaching it and retesting it. Or there is a huge fair value gap here. And you could say this did initiate the move on the 4 hour, because this is the move that obviously broke out the high. So that 4 hour fair value gap, and that already bounced with the 4 hour inside bar. It's just consolidating. I like Google calls there. Just target previous highs. Like that. When do they have earnings? Tomorrow? Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll be a good look. As far as everything else goes, Tesla's down here at the bottom. Tesla could honestly go and fill the gap. I feel like this gap can be filled pretty quickly, to be honest. I'll be watching Tesla for sure. Oh yeah, look how that's moving. Definitely will be watching Tesla. Keep an eye on Apple as well. They should dumped nasty. Holy shit. Definitely don't want to be trading Apple anymore. It's not really day tradable anymore. It's just moving too crazy. It's too unpredictable. Nvidia, I don't think Nvidia is a stock I want to be trading anymore. As sad as that is, it's just too unpredictable. We only want to trade the stocks that obviously have clear movement. SPY, QQQ will always be good. These will play by intraday. Everything else will be obviously by the setup. So it's like Google, Tesla looks good. Looks like it's just downtrending as we approach previous highs over here. And then now we just target other highs at 488. So eventually Tesla will go back up to its highs, but it will take time. Leaps are good. Long-term investments are good. I mean, you obviously, you throw 50K into this trade right here, make 27%. Damn, you're up. Thoughts on getting an at the money entry on 0DTE to be safer on the IV. So for that SPY 595 call in the retracement. I mean, yeah, you could do that. You can do that very easy. The reason I choose 596 is because it's not necessarily like super far out the money. And if we're targeting previous highs, you know, obviously it's going to go in the money. So it's like once the contracts go in the money, they get what's called an IV juice. You know, it's like the IV is up because they're pretty safe. But they get like juiced once they go in the money. Not necessarily the IV itself, but they get juiced once they go in the money. So if you know we're going to hit 599 for sure high day, we've already seen high day. I would grab contracts that will go in the money. For example, would you play the bounce on Tesla? I've been trying to play the bounce on Tesla. It's hard to predict when it will reverse. But I do feel like this gap can fill very quickly. It is a 4-hour inside bar. And I don't want to say, oh, it's going to go up or down. But if it breaks out the 4-hour inside bar, obviously you guys know what to do. If it breaks to the upside, we fill the gap. If it breaks to the downside, we target previous lows, right? But as far as that goes, that's pretty much it. There's not really too much else. This is the game plan for tomorrow. I'd say my top watches are obviously SPY, Tesla, I would say, and Google. SPY, Tesla, and Google. Those are my top watches, just because they have the 4-hour inside bar, so they're ready to make moves. And then we also have news at 9 a.m. again, so we're definitely going to make some moves. And we also have pre-market news on Wednesday, so earnings and pre-market news. You guys already know. But it's pretty much it, guys. I don't want to keep this recording too long. You guys need to go back and look at it in the morning, whatever you can, and then boom. But it doesn't necessarily take too long to, create a game plan for tomorrow. We're just preparing so that way we know what to do. And then after that, we are chilling. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Like I said, $1,000 challenge. We'll start tomorrow. Damn. From when I alerted it the earlier 10 minutes ago to now, it's at 125 reactions. So it looks like everybody wants to be in that. I'm sure you guys do as well. Can you explain the inside bar? Still learning the key terms? Yeah, of course. This is very simple. Inside bar. So when you have a 4 hour inside bar, I like the 4 hour inside bars the most because they're intraday. What this is basically price just consolidating inside a move. So every two 4 hour bars is a day. So this is one, two, that's one day, right? So this basically just means that price made a move and it was just consolidating. When price is consolidating, it's waiting to make a move. So when you have a 4 hour inside bar, what I like to do is mark the inside bars like this. And whichever way it breaks, I target the high or the lows. In this case, if we break this high, I'll play the gap fill. If we break this low, I'll target this low, and then any low below that. Does that make sense? But those are 4 hour inside bars. You'll see these happen more times than not. They're very common, and they're just good ways to, be able to find direction. Because, with the strategy that we play, we want levels to be broken with fair value gap. So, if we break out these levels with the fair value gap, it's going to be a pretty strong move.